Hey babies, it's your girl, Nurse Reese, aka Reese Wright, and you're watching another edition of Nurse Reese in the City. All right, so basically, see what had happened was, no, so what happened was yesterday I was doing a video while I was in the car, and the second video was just like really really choppy. You couldn't hear like anything. So I since I love you guys so much, I said let me redo the video. So thank God for transcripts. Because I'm basically gonna go off the transcript. I'm gonna try to make it really really quick. So this is an AMA, Wilkes University. We're talking about clinical placement. So it's about the clinical placement process review. Okay. So I just want to thank the young lady who really brought it to my attention because, to be quite honest, I didn't have a chance to look back at the video, the second video, but I did see that it was pretty choppy. So might have been some reception or so on and so happy, but whatever. All right, so let me go ahead and just dive right into this. So at the end of the last video, basically what I was saying is that there are several people who actually sit out of the program. They've just opted personally to sit out of the program because they weren't able to have a preceptor in place from Wilkes, or they were unable to find one on their own, or they didn't look or to find one on their own because they figured Wilkes clinical placement team would have done that for them. So there was a point where the school even sent out emails to students asking them to help out, pitch in, to look for preceptors as well. So there was just a lot going on, and it was pretty stressful for a lot of people. So let's see, guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share. um as you guys know, I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday in June next month. So I would really love it if you guys can help your girl out to achieve that goal that I have for myself. So if y'all could do that, I'd appreciate it from the very bottom of my heart. Yeah, and don't forget, you guys can check out my website, xoNurseReese.com. Again, that's xoNurseReese.com. Some shameless plugs, getting those out of the way. All right. So, one of the other things that I wanted to touch base on is that when it comes to the clinicals, there's absolutely zero guidance on what to expect from your clinicals, on what to expect from your preceptor. I guess the preceptor has the autonomy to, design their clinical however, but I personally feel like, you should be able to know what you're getting yourself into. Like for me personally, I'm not able to plan my day to day because I don't know when I'm going to have clinicals. I don't know, you know, what it's going to look like. I don't know what I need to do to satisfy my coursework requirements. It's not really clear anywhere on what these actual requirements are. There's stuff in the syllabus, but it doesn't really get that deep. Um, so so yeah, and also I want to say that if you're thinking about going with a preceptor who has a private practice, make sure that they have enough clientele that they're going to be able to provide you with the hours that you're going to need to complete your required hours. Again, Wilkes doesn't really tell you how to divvy up the hours as far as patients and basically how it works. Now I guess, and I say that to say because I'm doing telehealth, so it would be a little different than if you're actually at a facility. I mean, I guess if you're actually at a facility for 10 hours and those whole 10 hours would be documented, one would assume. But then I saw things to where some people are saying that the way that they divvy up the hours per like assessment, per evaluation are different. So, I don't want to get lost in going down a rabbit hole of, trying to decipher what previous students, are saying. I want to go straight to the source and kind of find out exactly what's required. So I did actually reach out to my instructor to find out a little bit more. And I did that yesterday. So yesterday was Saturday. It's not a holiday, but it's a weekend. So I really don't expect the instructor to respond to me until at least Monday. But I start clinical on Monday. So either way, it's like a waiting game per se. Yeah. So, all right. So that was just something that I wanted to touch base on. And guys, please bear with me because, like I said, this is a redo. So I am looking at the notes well, not the notes, but the transcript to make sure that I'm touching base on everything that I discussed that the recording didn't really quite catch the audio. All right. So when I did reach out to my preceptor, I mean, not my preceptor, my instructor about, like how are we to log or what qualifies as clinical hours. She did say basically the hours spent with the patient and the hours conferring with your instructor are what counts towards your clinical hours. So, yeah. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention is shadow health. So many of you may come into this program and you don't have to take the 3 Ps: advanced pathophysiology, advanced pharmacology, or advanced health assessment. Some may need to take one at least, or maybe not, because they have a cap on how old a class can be. So the reason I bring that up is because when I started the program, they said that shadow health is a one-time fee and it'll last you throughout the program. Well, now shadow health has popped up again, and we now need it in clinical, specifically, well, in clinical, I'll say that, in this NP program. So, initially I was told prior to starting the program, I was told, well, let me say this. Prior to starting the program, since I'm paying out of pocket, I wanted to know down to the penny how much it was going to cost me. So any, hidden fees or anything that, I needed to know about, I asked up front. And so I was aware that, I was going to have to pay for shadow health. I was aware that the school charges a university fee per credit. I was aware that I was going to have to pay per exam. Every exam that I take is going to be about $15 for every proctored exam that I take. So I was aware of that. But this time around, when it came to, shadow health, I was not aware that I was going to have to pay $130 again. Well, not again, because the last time it was less than $130. So I was quite taken aback because, like I said, I was under the impression that I was only going to have to pay for shadow health one time. So, this was, I don't know, I was taken by surprise. And I would have appreciated if I received an email about the change prior to starting the course or prior to early access into the course. I think that would have been, respectful. I think that would have been, a really good thing to do. I understand that things are subject to change, but I would like to know about these changes. So, yeah, so that's something, that is different. So now shadow health is a part of at least one clinical course. And there is an out-of-pocket fee that you're gonna have to pay. So that's that. All right. So like I said, I'm just checking my transcript. I want to make sure that I'm touching base on everything that I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, so like I said, other than the books and all those other additional things out of pocket, so shadow health is another one. So as far as books and things like that, there is the Dropbox. It may be on my website, the Dropbox. If not, you guys can definitely let me know and I'll give you the Dropbox link so that you can have access to all of the psych books and all different types of things like that. I'm trying to think. So Also, a big change. I don't want to say it's a big change, but there has been a crackdown. So this is new. They revamped the graduate handbook. It may be undergraduate or graduate or whatever. I guess graduate, which includes postgraduate. Either way, they updated the handbook to include copyright, I guess their infringement or policies or whatever it is, because there were some individuals that were uploading study guides, maybe PowerPoints, maybe their own work to websites like Course Hero. It could have been other websites, I don't know, but I know specifically Course Hero was outlined in the change in the revamped handbook. Okay. So basically, if they find out that you are, uploading these materials or I want to use the exact words that they have, that you are distributing these materials, then you are putting yourself at risk for being expelled from the university. I say all that to say that a lot of the groups that there were, wherever they were, online, had a lot of material and study guides to help other students. And within a study guide, the thing about that is it's your own work that you do in the study guide. So I don't understand how a study guide can be included as, copyrighted material, but whatever. So I say all that to say, don't ask me for anything because I'm trying to graduate and pass. So the most I can do at this point is give you guys a heads up of what to expect, what to look out for. I wish these videos were around, before I got involved, so I can at least, know what I'm really getting myself into. And I just want to be clear, like I would still go to Wilkes again because the way that my life is set up and everything else, it's not a terrible program at all. It's very helpful to know exactly what you're getting into. And another thing is, while we're on this topic, is that the communication is terrible. The communication is absolutely terrible. And when I say communication, I mean like you can't call the school to speak to someone. You have to call and leave a message and someone will call you back. I don't like that. And that's just my own personal thing. And and even if you do call, say you get to somebody, they're going to transfer you somewhere and you're going to have to leave a message. So I don't like that. Another thing is, especially being in the clinical portion, is that they have this clinical placement email or whatever, is basically where all the correspondence go if you have any questions about your clinicals and things like that. In my experience, in my personal experience, I have not really had the experience where they didn't respond. I will say that there may have been some sassiness in some responses, and I don't like that. So I decided to CC my advisor. And this is in a previous video. I didn't know what the name of the person was, but the person is an advisor. So I decided to CC my advisor in every single correspondence that I had with anybody at the university. And it was definitely a change of tone. And not only was there a change of tone, but the responses did come back a little faster, a lot faster, actually. Basically, either the same day or next day, I'd have a response. So here's another thing you want to look out for. They're not going to tell you if your preceptor has been approved, especially if you're doing a referral. Like if you send in your own personal referral, they're not going to tell you, they're not going to email you and say, hey, your preceptor has been approved. They're just going to show up as confirmed in, I guess it's called In Place. That's the online platform that they use. However, the way that I was following up with them, like I would, I sent my preceptor in, the referral in, and I'm going to go in depth with this because I don't remember if I discussed it in the first video, but I just want to make sure that you guys, I think I discussed it in the first video, but either way, I'm going to just touch base on it real quick. The point is, I I would reach out to my to my preceptor to make sure that they filled out all of the paperwork. And when they told me that they filled out all of the paperwork, then I would email the school like, "Hey, I'm just following up," even though I already know that the preceptor sent in the paperwork. But I'm still, "Hey, I'm just following up. Can you tell me the status on the paperwork?" And then they'll respond right back, "Oh yeah, we received the paperwork," and da 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 da. And then I would follow up, and then like I'd give them 2 days, give them a day or two. So I'll follow up a day or two and like, "Hey, following up on the status of the confirming if they've been confirmed or not." And then when I would do that, they would be like, "Oh, hey, you'll be surprised or you'll be happy to know that they've been confirmed or approved as of 30 minutes ago," or whatever the case may be. So you have to be heavy, double down on the follow up. Like you have to stay on top of them. And the thing about it is, like, they say, "Oh, we do all, we have this clinical placement team in place to help you focus on your studies." But for me, this was very stressful, and I was taking a pretty hard class, and it it didn't alleviate any stress for me. It actually added more stress. And the reason why it added more stress was because I had paid, and I paid out of pocket for these preceptors. I paid out of pocket because I didn't have the time to deal with these folks. I'm going to do all the heavy lifting, do everything that I need to do to make sure that everything is in place so I can focus on my schoolwork, and that I know that I'm going to do what I need to do to get into the next semester, and my clinical is going to be good to go. So I say that to say, when I paid for those preceptors and the first one was denied, it was initially the same preceptor for 2 terms. So the first one was denied because they already had 2 Wilkes University students. So I guess Wilkes, you can only have a preceptor can only precept 2 Wilkes students at a time. All right, fine. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna fight you on that. Whatever. If that's your policy, that's your policy. I'm gonna find somebody else. I found somebody else, but they were in a state that wasn't approved, and so on and so forth. So I'm moving on to the next one. I got the next one. But my issue was I had the same preceptor for 2 terms. You didn't approve them for one, but they also weren't approved for the second term that I had them for. And I'm like, "Well, what's taking you so long? You're going to wait for this individual to have 2 students from Wilkes before you approve them?" So that was my issue. It's like my thought process was, you would think that these people would work to get that individual approved. So when I followed up on it, long and behold, they were approved. So you really, 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 really have to, stay on top of them. So I just want to make sure that I'm hammering that down in your minds and in your heads, especially if you're going for referrals. All right. So I just want to make sure that I'm touching base on everything. It looks like I talked about the Facebook groups, the distribution of materials. Yeah. So like I said, don't ask me for anything. Whatever I can do, it'll be on the website. But other than that, we discussed the changes with Shadow Health. And yeah, and like I said, overall, looks like that's about everything that I touched base on in the last video. So overall, I just wanted to be transparent, and for those of you who have jumped on, I appreciate you guys for jumping on. But yes, this is basically a redo of the part 3 Wilkes University clinical placement review, because the video audio was very terrible. So I just wanted to make sure that I was able to, get this information out to you guys. So, again, I just wanted to be transparent. And don't get me wrong, Wilkes is a means to an end. Like it's not terrible. The work is doable. And I think that if you know this stuff now, and sorry I was talking so fast because I do have stuff to do, but I really wanted to make sure that I was able to put this video out there for you guys. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share. I really appreciate you guys for that. And I think that's really it. Yeah, I just want to make sure as I go through the transcript that I'm touching base on everything. Nope, that was it. So yeah, like I really enjoy doing these videos with you guys. I kind of like doing these live streams a little better because I don't have to do all the editing and stuff. But I'm gonna try to get to a cappella one later in the week. But that's it. So thanks guys. Thanks for everyone who jumped on. Thanks for rolling with me. I didn't get a chance to say if you had any questions to throw them down in the chat, but I'm assuming you guys already knew that. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to message me like y'all always do. I want to give a quick shout out real quick. I can't give it because I can't see where the woman's name is. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Charlotte Edmonds, thanks so much for your message earlier. Let me know that the quality was terrible. It was trash. Basura. All right, guys. Love you. Godspeed. 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 I'll be doing another video soon. All right.